So this is for you children. You ready? All right. We've been talking about Abram or Abraham? Abram. Right? Abram. Before his name got changed, right? Okay. So let's do a recap real fast. So Abram was told to leave from way over here. Actually, he and his dad and his wife and his nephew went up to Haran out of Babel, right? Out of Ur, went up to Haran. And from Haran, he told Abram, leave your father and I go to the land where I tell you, right? Just what you had asked today. Go where I tell you. Was his father still alive?
Yeah.
Did his father go with him?
No.
No. Who went with him? Lot, his nephew Lot, and Sarai, his wife, right? Did they have children? How old was he?
90.
Like 75 when they left? Yeah, he eventually gets there. 75 and she was 65. She didn't have any children.
They were old.
No, they were very young.
I love you. I'm right there. I'm right there. I cannot imagine having a child right now and being pregnant. Just the sheer energy this morning, the sheer focus that you have to have. You have to be on all the time. You cannot relax for a moment. You have to sleep with your eyes open and your ears open. You can't even blooming fart without listening. I mean, I'm sorry, but you just can't, you know? Everything is important. Every little word has to be corrected. You let one word slip by, and now they're going to be creating a habit. Mm-hmm. So, when I ask you something, can you say yeah? Is that a yes or a no? Look at that smile. That is a no, ma'am. Okay, we went from to yeah, to yeah, yes, yes, ma'am, right? Boom, like that. Everything matters. And where we are in the 11th hour, everything matters. Everything matters because everything is going to be turned up. Pressure is going to be turned up. Heat's going to be turned up. The enemy's going to be let loose. They have to be equipped. We can't let anything slide. Nothing. No whining. No whining. No complaining. It can't. Because if they have to get it. We have to train them. We have to equip them to be the dragon slayers. They've got to be all in, and they got to know that they know that they know that they know. We can't let up for a moment. And she's not the only one. We got to help her. Right? Aunts, grandmas, dads, uncles, right?
Yeah.
It's on us.
You say the enemy's going to be turned loose. There's going to be things that we're not even imagining what's going to happen.
Yeah. So, yes, good point. So the enemy acts like a. What happens when you get a wild animal and you kind of corner them or trap them? Oh man, okay. They don't fight fair. It ain't a pretty fight. They fight dirty. They fight with their claws. They fight with their teeth. They fight with a whatever. Picks a rock. I mean, okay. It's an all or nothing kind of a thing. That's the battle we got to prepare them for. Okay? You got to be on 24/7. You can't turn it off, either one of you. You got to be sharp. You got to figure out what gifts God has given your children and then sharpen those gifts. You've got to encourage, not provoke. There's a fine line, and we got to help you. So if we see something and say something, it's not because, oh, you're not doing this right, and blah, 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 blah. No, it's like, hey, I see this. Maybe try this. I blew it. I did this. Don't do it like that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay. Love. They're our children. They're here. They're his children. And then guess what? We're children too. How'd we get there? Children. Sarah, 65. Woo! Okay, so Sarah's 65 and Abram 75. They go and they come into this land, right? And they go down into Egypt and Abram kind of blows it. Well, we think he does. But, God used it for a purpose. They probably pick up some servants from Egypt. Remember, hold on to that. And then they travel around. And then Lot, the nephew, decides that, well, I want the best, right? And we're kind of arguing, and there are people that are not getting along because the land can't support both of us. And so he goes to Lot. It's Abram's. It's all Abram's. God promised it to Abram. And he says, Lot, choose what you want. Here, they went up to choose what you want, right? And what was Lot thinking about his uncle? He wasn't considerate? He wasn't grateful? You know, Abram didn't have any children. Maybe Lot could have been possibly his heir. But they didn't do things like that then. Okay. So Lot goes off, right? And then the next thing we found out, we had the story where Lot got taken by these bad kings way up there, right? Look, way up there, right? Way off the map. And what does Abram do? He doesn't think, he just does. Sometimes that's what we're going to do. We're going to do what we know to do. Okay? And so he goes. And then he comes back. Did he retrieve all the people? How about all the possessions? He did, didn't he? And then he comes back, and that's where we are today. All right? So when he comes back, you can read it in Genesis 14 later, okay? When he comes back, the king of Lot comes out and says, oh, just give me the people and you keep all the goods. And Abram says, no, nothing doing. No, I'm not going to take anything. I made an oath to Elyon, the Most High God, right? I'm not going to take anything that belongs to you. You can't say you made me rich. God is going to be the one that gives to me, okay? Very important. And then where they're at, though, is really crazy because remember, here's where Sodom and Gomorrah is, right? Hebron is down here. Here's Jerusalem. Damascus went all the way down there. Abram came back down. He had to go through the valleys around Jerusalem to get back to Hebron. And in there, there's this place called Shittim Valley, or the Valley of the Kings. And if you don't read it closely, you're thinking that maybe he came over here because the king of Sodom came out to meet him. So you would think he brought all the people back to Sodom and Gomorrah. He didn't. He went through what we call today modern Jerusalem. He came through here. Okay? And the king of Shalom, Melech Shalom, the king of peace, the king of the city of peace, came out, and his name was Melchizedek, king of righteousness. The righteous king, who was also the king of peace, came out to meet Abram. And then the story goes on to the king of Lot again. Or the king of Sodom again, excuse me. Well, who's Melchizedek? All right. Now I am going to open the Bible, and I'm going to take you to Hebrews really fast, okay? All right, Hebrews, really fast. I'm going to read this to you. Chapter 7, and I'm only going to read 4 verses. This Melchizedek, that's king of righteousness, king of Shalom, king of peace. Hebrews 7. A Cohen. What's a Cohen? A priest of God Ha-Elyon, the Most High God. Met Abram. This says Abraham, but that's okay. We're talking about the same person, right? On his way back from the slaughter of the kings. We know that story. I just told you about it, right? We talked about it last week. And blessed him. Wait a minute. Who blessed whom? Melchizedek blessed Abram. Also, Abram gave him 1/10 of everything. Well, I thought, doesn't tithing come into the law? But the law's not given till Moses. This is pre-law. See, God has things that are so before the law is written. And we know it. Abram knew it. Lot knew it. Job knew it. Adam and Eve knew it. Cain and Abel knew it. Noah knew it. And all those other people knew it. Okay? God doesn't hide what he wants from us. Okay? It's us who close our eyes or turn our heads. All right? Or choose to plug our ears. If you really want to know, he'll tell you. All right? Okay. He gave him a tenth of everything. Now, first of all, by translation of his name, he is King of Righteousness. Melchizedek. Melchizedek, King of Righteousness. And then he is also King of Shalom. King of Shalom, King of Peace, which means King of Peace. There's no record of his father. What? No record of his mother. No ancestry. No birth or death. Rather, like the Son of God, he continues as a Cohen, a priest for all time. Just think how great he was. Even the patriarch Abraham gave him a tenth of the choicest spoils. He's a priest forever. Who's a priest forever? Yeshua. Yeshua, right? Yeshua is a priest forever. After the order of Melchizedek. Pre-law, pre-priesthood, pre-12 tribes. Wow. God's hand is in this all the way from the very beginning. He has a plan. And he has made it faithfully through every single one. So all we have to do is trust, right? Right. Okay, so also, if you read Hebrews 5 through 7 later, okay? All those chapters, 5, 6, and 7. And Psalm 110, Psalm 110 talks about Melchizedek too, all right? So he says that he's going to give him, he gives him a tenth. And you know what Melchizedek does? You'll have to read it. It's in Genesis 14. Melchizedek brings out bread and wine. Bread and wine. Wow. The life is in the blood. Man doesn't live by bread alone. I am the bread of life. After the order of Melchizedek. So when you bring something out to eat, it's called covenant. When you share a meal with somebody, that's a peace meal. You're making covenant. You're having a relationship. Okay? All of it ties. So hold on to those thoughts, okay? Because next week we're going to finish the life of Abram really, really, really fast so that we can go into other characters and I can tell you stories about boys and girls that stand and boys and girls that fight and men and women that have character and faith, okay? Melchizedek, King of Righteousness, King of Peace, everlasting, eternal priest. And they say Yeshua didn't show up until